I think that's a message. It's a tone setter. It's a message, not an emotional tone setter, but also in a sense like this is serious. This is light 3 at 3. We're leaving it all on the table. We are starting the show with Midnight Harlem. You better get in your seat if you're online for whatever, you know.
Yep, and 8:05, right, Jeff?
Yeah, right on time. We were having the same conversation. I made friends with Tom Lillis. I had the extra ticket. This was the night I had the lottery tickets I won, and I sold him the extra ticket, and we both looked at each other and we're like, what, started with Midnight? And I didn't even recognize it at first because it didn't have the opener. I was
right.
Yeah, I was unsure for a minute.
It's like the studio version.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quick. Yeah. But to your point, like, let's get this thing going. Like, we're starting with Midnight.
And we were talking about also how they used it for an encore, you know, earlier this year, which is like you don't know what you're gonna get. And I always joke about like they could pick their set list out of the hat, any of their songs to be encore, and that's kind of can be an encore, and that's kind of like playing itself out in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. And then what I remember most is that the whole set was a jam session. It seemed there was just seemed to be one jam session after another, and that's not unusual with TTB. But it seemed like with this particular set, they were just throwing it from one to another. I saw Idlewind was 16 minutes long. It was crazy.
I agree with you. This set was so much more like jammy than like usual, or at least maybe Thursday night was like there was a jazzy jam kind of thing going on. But yeah, I'm with you. And that I love the Gravity. I love Gravity. Whatever Derek's doing with the like harmonic, I don't know what it is.
Those squealy hype. Yeah,
he's like hitting like multiple notes at the same time with the slide. And
I joke that he added frets to the guitar.
Yes, probably.
and Gabe's picking it up too. Gabe's like really banging the keys, and he's kind of like kind of picking it up on some of the back end and really dueling with Derek on Gravity. It's really nice to see. It's really cool.
Oh yeah. They like bounce off each other really well. And then the mic life is crazy. I mean, all the mic stuff is just I'm kind of really enjoying Mike's songs. I feel like he's getting more I feel like before at some point there was like shows where maybe he wouldn't have a song in a set, but it feels like almost every set he's got something where he's coming out and singing front.
Definitely every night, if not every set, certainly. And a song like this obviously has more upbeat songs. Like in the second set, what do you have? You have what's the Derek Trucks Band song that they covered? The upbeat one.
I know.
No, it was "Get What You Deserve." That obviously has a certain style to it, but a lot of the Mike songs have a lot of quirky elements to it. Be they the Emmylines, the Life is Crazies, and the Right on Times and stuff. And then this fits right into that. It's like it starts off, you're like, what is this quirky, slow, weird song I'm listening to? And then it slowly builds, and you're like, wow, this is awesome and catchy. Quirky, but also catchy, which is a hard thing to achieve, and hard to achieve that balance. And I don't know if that's something that's consciously done by Mike and the band, but I'm guessing so. I'm guessing that's a part of the method to the madness, and something that they want to achieve is something unique, but also something that can be tangible to people on an emotional level as well, and catchy and just sound great.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then they did you were talking about, Bob, the Idlewind, that 16 minutes. I love that they do the Sahib Terry Maki Madni from the Songlines Derek Trucks album. I love how he's doing that. I'm just waiting for them, like, maybe they won't ever, but I'm waiting for them to just do the whole thing. I really want it, but I love how he transitions into it and goes back, and then I can't remember if the drums came before that or after that. But
the dueling drums on that they're doing some of these songs, and I noticed that Derek and Susan are doing a lot more duels than I think that I had seen in the past this year and the shows that I've seen this year. That they're, you know, not only in Whiskey Legs, but some of the other songs, they'll kind of duel and go back and forth. Before it was kind of like Derek would take it, or Susan would take it, and they'd kind of leave each other to the solo. Whereas there's at least one or two songs in every set now where they end up kind of dueling, going back and forth with it, and it just builds and builds and builds, and it's just awesome to watch.
Did we get that in set 2 on Get What You Deserve? I think that's one of the songs where they go back and forth on the end. Get What You Deserve, Outside Woman Blues, Whiskey Legs.
They might have done it on Yes We Will, I think.
Yeah. Susan was on fire. I know you were talking about Pity the Fool from the night before. I think Yes We Will was that song in this night, because Derek kind of looked at her at the end and kind of went, whoa, you're on fire. You told them.
Yeah.
I almost I was gonna say, I almost forget that, like, they, in the sense how they surprise each other, because like we hear these new things, or what we perceive as new things, from Susan or Derek, but they also see, obviously, and they know their music intimately, but they're still able to surprise each other, and that's kind of surprising to me. I'm like, yo, don't you know that what Susan's gonna play? Don't you know every note? Can't you anticipate with every single note and every single where she's going with every solo? But I guess not, and that's sort of the magic and joy of like, I guess, from being a part of this band from the inside looking out, is that they also are surprised by each other too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun to see their facial expressions. That's the thing I like about the closer seats. You get to see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mr. Row 2, Row 1 over there.
Yeah, it's neat because, you know, she'll be like facing this way, playing the rhythm, and hear something, and she's like making some facial expressions that my perception is that she's like, whoa, like that's awesome. And similarly to, you know, what Bob was saying, like Derek is like noticing when she's on fire and going into some kind of solo he hasn't heard, and is just like his eyebrows raise.
Sometimes when you're at a show, or at least when I'm at a show, you almost don't know where to look. Like, honestly, like, you don't know where to focus your eyes. Sometimes I don't even want to look. When Derek's playing, I'm like, you know what? I just want to listen to this. So I'm going to kind of check out the fans, maybe even close my eyes. You don't want to do that for too long because you're paying to see as well. But like, yeah, like, I don't know where to look. So I find myself like almost consciously just like, I'm going to be like, I'm just going to pan left and right, just keep going back and forth and just kind of scanning the stage, because like there's so much to see. It's so much visual stimulation, let alone, you know, listening to the music, 12 people on stage, and then you got lights and graphics, which all enhances the experience. Like nothing, there's no distractions with anything, and there's no frills at all with this band, which is something we all love. But like, sometimes I don't know where the hell to look.
Yeah, 12 pieces. 12 pieces. Where do you go?